that good stuff in between. Chef Glen Hall from the San Antonio Food Bank is here.
You know, Glenn worked with Mick Jagger, who's
That's
like 112 now.
What does he do?
You used to cook for the Rolling Stones.
I spent about 6 weeks on tour with the Stones. He is super fit these days. He ran a mile before the show every day, had a track belt outside his dressing room, greens all the way.
Greens?
Yeah.
That's it. And I heard they get blood transfusions out of the country.
Probably every
every other story, yeah.
That's what we need. We need a track running around the studio.
But we need great food, too. And the San Antonio Food Bank is gearing up for summertime with youth programs and the backpack program. And
We sure are.
Chef Glenn's in charge out there.
Yeah, basically what this recipe is going to show everybody today is how many people actually miss breakfast. We run out the door, we grab a coffee because we don't have time, we've got to get the kids to school. This recipe is great because, one, it's combining whole wheat flour with regular flour. We're using alternatives to put vegetables in there, so we get fiber in there too. So what we have in here, we have a cup and a quarter of whole wheat flour, cup and a quarter of all-purpose flour. There's a small sprinkle of brown sugar, very light brown sugar, so it's getting away from the cane sugar. We have baking soda and baking powder. Just separated 3 eggs. So if you want to go, we're starting out all of the wet ingredients. We have 3 eggs here, sweet potato, 2 teaspoons of vanilla. We have 6 tablespoons of coconut oil, and then we have 2 cups of low-fat buttermilk.
So we're going to mix all that together.
We're going to mix all the wet ingredients together.
Okay.
What I have here is basically the 3 egg whites.
How much of this?
All of that. That's
All of it.
1 cup
Okay.
of sweet potato. What that's going to do is act as the binder inside of there, get the fiber in there. And all they've done was took just 1 regular sweet potato, boiled it up, put it through the food processor, and then just put it down into a puree.
Now, we were talking earlier about syrup substitutes as well, so a healthier alternative rather than giving your kids, corn syrup.
Yeah, all those syrups is high fructose corn syrup, which is just another name for pure sugar. Take a look at the plate we have over there. We have summer berries. So what that's going to do, you're going to get the natural sweetness of the sugar coming from the berries. We also have some yogurt there, low fat, natural. There's no flavorings in there, so the buttermilk goes in there too.
All right, here we go.
All of that goes in.
That's the buttermilk.
And there's a trick to this because we want our sweet potato waffles to be light, airy, and fluffy.
Yeah.
So he's whipping it good over here.
What I'm doing, I'm just going to get the egg whites up to stiff peak or soft peak. Once you have everything combined into that, we're just going to gently fold this into there. And the egg whites, because it's so aerated, that'll actually make that a little bit more aerated too, light and fluffy.
I see, okay. And of course, the food bank is looking for volunteers to help this summer.
Yeah, kids is out of school in 2.5 weeks. So a lot of those kids, they rely on either free or reduced cost meals. Once school's out, they don't get those meals supplied anymore. So we have an amazing staff at the kitchen, the community kitchen at the food bank. Right now, we're gearing up to produce over 15,000 meals every single week.
That's crazy.
Yeah, and that's even not including the people who have pantries, don't have access to the summer feeding program.
Right.
So we need monetary donations. $1 equals 7 meals. We need volunteers to come help make all these meals. We have an amazing staff of cooks, chefs, volunteers, but we're going to need more and more and more just to help everybody get that food out.
So muscle, money, and anything in your pantry that is not going to use right now.
Anything that you can do is all great help. We have 12 staple foods that we kind of rely on. Peanut butter, canned meats, canned stews. Any food that comes into the food bank, will go out and help all of these people.
All right, how do we do this already?
Straight into the top.
Straight in. Okay.
But once that's in,
It's in.
very gently just fold it through. So it's going to move this to the side a little bit. What we have over here as well, I've got some on the grill before you guys started all this. And as Jeff always says, by the magic of TV, poof!
Look at this. There they are.
Voila.
And now we can just kind
You
of...
can feel free to dress it however you want.
Okay.
As I say, we use the alternatives to the sugar. We have the low-fat peanut butter here. We have the berries, chopped strawberries here.
Ooh, I'm going to do some of the peanut butter because you got to taste some of that earlier.
That's a great way to get protein, and kids think,
Yeah. And with
obviously this has some sweetness to it too because of the berries.
It does. And with this recipe, this makes actually 16 waffles. So if you have kids left at home, I know we all have kids, and some of them are going to go hungry because parents have to go to work. Make these in advance on a Sunday. They can be in the fridge on a Saturday, all the way through the week. Pop it in the toaster, and that way the kids are going to get a little bit of breakfast before they go out to summer camp, summer school, anything like that. And it's also, breakfast is one of the most important meals for the guys. They need it to get the metabolism going, gets the brain thinking. All these young kids are future scientists, TV presenters,
Hopefully
astronauts.
more so
Yeah.
scientists, doctors, and lawyers. That's what my mom would have
I'm
wanted.
raising the president at home, yeah. You have to blame.
She's still waiting for me to grow up. How is it? Is it good?
Delicious.
All right.
Thank you, Glenn.
Remember, for the recipe and information on volunteering for the food bank, just head to salive.com where we've provided a link. All right, well, eating healthy is good for the